What is the fundamental building block of artificial intelligence? This is a single perceptron. It's the dot that you see inside a neural network illustration where the dots connect to lines and other dots. And this is the number of iterations this is going to go through. But this is broken down into its elemental pieces, its first principles understanding. So down here, we have a for loop so it can repeat and gradually improve. We have the y-hat, which what it's called in statistics is the prediction. We have the wx plus b. You may remember y equals mx plus b, the calculated straight line. It's the same math. And then we have the loss, or the squared error loss, to basically indicate how far off the prediction is from the true answer. In this case, the answer to all of this is 42. So down here is the derivative. If you take the derivative with respect to y-hat, then it ends up being 2 times the quantity of y-hat minus y. And then if you go down here, the derivative with respect to w is, if you make a slight increase in w, then the total result changes by x amount of times, whatever value x is. In this case, it would be 3. So the derivative of y-hat with respect to w is x, which is 3. And that value doesn't change because it's the single input that this is training on currently, or whenever I run it. So down here, the derivative of the bias is 1, because the derivative of addition is 1. Because if I slightly increase this, then the end result increases by 1 time that amount. So down here is the chaining of the derivatives. So you have the derivative of y-hat multiplied or chained with the derivative of the weight, or the derivative with respect to the weights. And down here is the derivative or gradient with respect to y-hat and the bias, or chained together for that. And down here is the update. This is where it actually changes the values so it learns. So this is the learning rate. I set it at 0.01. So multiply that by the gradient. Like if I'm changing the weight, then I multiply this part with the gradient of the weight. And the bias, multiply with the gradient of the bias. So it comes out to be the learning rate times the gradient with respect to whatever variable you're going to change. So it's that variable minus, that variable, the new version of that is equal to the previous version, like the previous w, minus 1% in this case of the gradient with respect to w. And the same pattern for the bias. And then this prints out each result from each iteration so that you can see it learning. And then this prints the rounded final result. So if I run it, Control Enter, and go down here, initially predicts 22. Remember, the answer to all of this is 42. So it prints out 22. Then you can see it gradually climbs 26, 29, 31, 33, 35, 36, 37.8, 38.6, 39, 39.8, 40, about 40.6, 40.9, 41, 41 and a half, 41.7, and it rounds it off and ends up being 42, which if you look up here, remember the answer to all of this is 42. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and check out some of my other videos for details about how multi-layer perceptrons work from scratch and how transformers work. The transformers is the T in ChatGPT and other generative pre-trained transformers. And it's similar to how things like Claude and Grok work as well in the background. So if you like the under the hood mechanics of how AI works, then check out some of my other videos and let me know what you think in the comments and what you would like to see. And have a good day. Thanks. Bye.